Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. It is Thursday night, September 25th, and the market was pulling back a little bit. Tesla was down today, really pulling back. It looked like it wanted to pop yesterday, and then it was pulling back Tesla. So we'll have to see what's going on tomorrow. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. Always do your due diligence. How is everybody this evening? And that was the heat map. Apple was actually up there and not looking bad. So Apple looks like it wants to get cruising into the top for whatever reason. And our SPY was down right there, 305 it was down. And so that's pulling back at the 20. We'll have to see how that wants to open up in the morning. And the red line for Tesla is 422, Luis Rodriguez is saying. And yeah, it's definitely dipping down right there. That's for sure. And we'll see. It's way at the bottom. So it looks like it wants to start off and go up in the morning is what it looks like. But we'll have to take a look and see what that morning's what's gonna happen in the morning. Joram slapped your TSSL in the ASSS right there. That's for sure. Laptop travel and all of our Tesla options. He just crushed them all the other day. So market definitely pulled back. And then also, guys, you do have the government shutdown looming here, and we'll take a look at that. As a matter of fact, I have our poly market up, and you can see is there going to be a government shutdown by October 1st, because that is the date where it has to be figured out. So it's only today's the 25th, and only a couple days left, guys. So it does appear like it's really high up there, but we'll have to look and see how it is as it gets a little bit closer, because it could just fall right back down. This one's interesting right here. I live in New Jersey, and the governor election winner for 2025, and you're about to start seeing all the election commercials coming back on, guys, because the elections are going to get fired up right now. I know New Jersey's having an election, and I'm sure a lot of other places are as well. So yeah, this one, you can see the Republican down here, Jack. He's starting to curl up, and that Democrat's starting to come down. So I'll keep an eye on that. Very interesting right there. And we'll have a shutdown in 2025, which is kind of basically the same as this one by October, and that one's almost at 70%. This one's over 70%. So interesting right there. It's at 75%, and we'll see what it looks like as they start curling. I don't think it's going to happen, though, to be honest with you, but just something interesting to keep an eye on them poly markets and laptop travel. So no way the government shuts down with Trump in office. He'll just make an executive order or something. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that he's just like last time. He's like, well, you guys aren't going nowhere, so have fun working 24/7 around the clock with me, and you're not going home for a long time. You may miss Halloween with your kids, and they'll be like, all right, what do we have to do to sign this thing to get the hell out of here? It always happens right on probably September 30th at about 11:57 p.m. And all of a sudden they figure out how to strike a deal. So that is what always happens. I mean, unless they definitely go into the shutdown, but I don't think it's going to happen either. And so there you go. And just interesting to see what's going to happen and see the charts, how they set up, and tell us what's going to happen there. And let's go through and see what was happening today. It honestly was pretty choppy, and a whole lot of nothing was happening. That was what was happening. Joseph Levy, good evening. And Papa Joshio, I believe that's how you say it. Good evening to you. And, of course, Laptop Travel and Luis Rodriguez and Doge Mama 9, Asian Joe Lee, Valerie is always hopping on, CFS, and everybody else, Zach and the rest of the people, and, of course, Robin. Yeah, today was a bad day, Robin, huh? I agree 100% right there. It was pretty quiet and pretty red right there. Raya definitely pulling back. Glad I locked that in yesterday. Holy cow. That was definitely why you have to pull the trigger. Remember we were talking about this thing where the 20 and 50 were meeting up, and it looked pretty good. It was running around today pretty well, that ORIS, and this AIHS is trying to set up right here. It was up a little bit, and we'll see what it can do tomorrow. And this STFS, I put that on the list, and that was really good today. And this one could be a momentum runner right there tomorrow, so you might want to keep an eye on STFS right there, because that one does look pretty good. And I did add it to the list, I think, at the beginning of the week, I believe. So there you go. And how are you, Zach, and everyone else? But yeah, that's That is what them guys, the small penny stocks, are looking like. Open was trying to cruise back up right here. And if I could type it in, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but there we go. It opened and it was jumping up right there. It's trying to curl up. I still don't really like it. I don't think it's going to get through the MACD, especially if this market's pulling back and it looks like that. So it's trying, but I think it was just a little bounce up today. And your QMCO was pulling back as well right there. And we'll even look at the rest of these computer hardware ones. RGTI, it's way topped out, so be very careful with that. And QUBT had been pulling back after that run up. QBTS pulling back. D-Wave after that ran up and hit the resistance. And your QTUM, the Defiance is finally kind of pulling back right there. Still in the top, so maybe we'll see it bounce. And IONQ is dipping pretty good today. And that one's still in the top. And our Z space right here pulled back some more. And that thing's kind of wild. It was trying to set up the other day and then just immediately went pulling back. Our cat, Red Cat Holdings right here. This one had a little bit of pullback, but it's trying to get set up, has a little bit of time right there. So that is what your computer hardware and quantum ones and all them guys. And we'll look at our big cats right here, LGHL for your lion. And that one is, I mean, look at that thing it's going to pull back a little bit more before it runs, but it will run pretty soon. And the cheetah right here was also pulling back a little bit and also will get set up to run pretty soon. So I had checked them out today. And JAGX right here had pulled back. This one had been running up there, as you can see, and a little healthy pullback. So the big cats actually don't look too bad right there. UNH right here was pulling back. That one looked good yesterday to try to run, and it pulled back with the rest of the market. And Oscar right there, just trying to get set up. It's not really ready yet, but we'll see if it can hold itself up. As you can see, trying to pull back and trying to get over that 20 right there to be good if it can get over to 20 and stay there for OSCR. And American Bitcoin Corp right here, ABTC, that was pulling back as well. And all the Trump ones where Pew was pulling back. And also the NCPL, that was also Net Capital was down. And even this PSQH, which looked really good, and that got sold off. So I'm sure the Trump family was probably selling this bad boy today. Public Square to launch crypto treasury as service to its robust merchant ecosystem. And then the thing dips down real hard. When have you seen that happen, guys? Unless they just announced it completely on the wrong day and it's a Trump company. I can't even imagine that happening, but you would have thought that thing would have get cruising. So who the heck knows what was going on right there? And crypto is getting smashed right now, guys. Look at that. Bitcoin back under 110 at 109. And Ethereum back down under 4,000 at 38. Solana under 200 at 194. And Ripple at 275. Doge 22. Cardano 77. It was just in the 90s. And Stellar back at 35. Chainlink, I mean, all of them way down right there. And you can look and see what they look like right there. And big pullback. They look like they were trying to get stable, and now all of a sudden they're dipping down pretty good. So I don't know if it's that government shutdown. I don't know what is creating the what's going on here to create this sell-off. What does it say? Crypto liquidations top 1 billion as Bitcoin, Ether, Solana sell-offs worsen, and they certainly are getting worse because they are just selling off right there big time. Look at these things just coming down hard. So yeah, that's a major sell-off right there. To be honest, I thought they were going to try to keep themselves up and stay a little higher. Now they're dipping lower, so that's not a good look on any of them, to be honest with you today. It definitely didn't get good. Ripple was the only one that hasn't gone that far down yet. The other ones pretty much have. Bitcoin, I think, yeah, Bitcoin was almost right there. I know Solana was there. Ethereum was like right getting back down there, and that thing looks like it's going to try to drop unless it just hits this bottom right here and bounces up. So I'll be watching crypto, obviously, to see what that wants to do, because that's some nice dip action, and maybe there are opportunities, and I'll let you guys know. That's why I'll be watching that to see if we're going to add any more for any run-ups right there and see what's going on and what it actually wants to look like going forward. And I'm not sure exactly if it is the government shutdown. I have no idea. What did the news even say today? Amazon stock is trading at historic discount. Is it the bargain of the decade right there? Let's just look at Amazon real quick while we're talking about it. AMZN right there. And that is dipping down pretty well. I mean, that is pretty that's a good day. It looks like it could come down a little bit more right there. So we'll have to keep an eye on Amazon. I can't disagree, but I think you can get a little cheaper. Stock futures are a little changed ahead of the key inflation report, and whisper it, but is this the top? Trump signs order approving $14 billion TikTok deal. That's interesting. And then stocks fall and Trump signs the TikTok order. So there you go with that. And I didn't even read about that, but what does it say? Ordered Thursday to formalize U.S. government approval of the spinoff of TikTok's U.S. operations from China-based ByteDance, and a deal valued at $14 billion. It's a move to start the clock on a sequence of events from getting China's final approval and closing a deal to implementing a complex technical framework. So I have no idea what the heck they're even trying to do there. But anyway, they're doing something with TikTok. We know that. We've heard about it for a little while here, and it looks like they're trying to move forward with that. So we'll see what's going on there. And let's see what the rest of this market has for us. Besides a whole lot of nothing, but Gush was up, guys, and there's your oil and gas still looking pretty good. It wasn't going crazy, but it does look pretty good. And I noticed RBNE was actually up to today at some point and then pulled back. Look at that run around right there. 129 to 133, and then came back down to 125. It's at 128. And this one, I'm telling, look at it, trying to hit that MACD. We know that when they try to set up like this, they like to run. And TMDE is another one that was trying to get set up and had a big dip right there, had that dip and rip kind of look. So I'll be watching them still because they can run pretty well. And OCGN definitely pulling back right there. We'll see if it can bounce back up tomorrow. BMNR pulling back, obviously, with Ethereum and all them guys. But SBET, I mean, it's pulling back. I guess it was kind of bad right there. And it didn't look so bad on the chart, but it was down over 7%. And UPXI actually pulled back some more too. And that did dip down. And that one was trying to get really set up there. So maybe it's going to have to wait for that setup up here. And you'll be probably down here in the second week of October or so. So we'll be watching for that. And maybe this is that final pull, like that little pullback that we've been talking about for so long. And it just never happened. And here we go. We're seeing it now. Neon right here was down as well. It was up yesterday and then just pulled right back. So again, you definitely have to lock them in. CoreWeave took a nice dip today. It ran up early and then went dipping down. It was at 138. And now it's at the 126 area. So that's crazy. And then your CRM took a nice dip as well. And you might as well let this come back down to that support. That's where it looks like it's going to come down to around 230 area. So keep an eye on that for that dip right there for CRM. Circle took a nice dip too, $6, $7 dip, but it's underneath the 20. So we'll have to see if it wants to roll off that MACD, and everything's just down. ORBS, that was trying to get set up, and now it's going to have to get reset up now for ORBS. And let's see what our Caterpillar took a big dip as well, down $6. It's in that channel, but this one may come back down into the 449 area, so 450. So we definitely got to watch that as well. And TikTok at 14 billion. Well, Trump touted that as a $300 billion deal back when it first started talking about it. I have 14 billion doesn't seem, I mean, it's a lot of money for TikTok, but it doesn't seem that crazy. And they were acting like it was like the most valuable thing ever was TikTok. And then all it does is influence kids and rot their brains away. So, yeah, they should have a piece of it. So they can't do, it's definitely, it's crazy, TikTok, if you have kids. And the algorithm definitely sends them crazy shit. I'm not going to lie. So that is what TikTok is, and it's all from China. So Caterpillar coming down here, ASTS pulling back, and that is your AST Space Mobile, and that built up a support or a resistance up here, and then it came right off of it. So that one wasn't going through like the rest of the market, and BBAI right here had been pulling back. Almost doesn't look too bad to try to roll back up, but I mean, still a big pullback, and it may still pull back some more before it does try to roll off. And then that reborn is like right there, guys. Keep an eye on this thing tomorrow because this thing looks like it could get cruising right there. REBN. There's not many of them that look real good, but that don't look bad. And this ASST, I guess it's coming way down here, guys, into like the 230s. That won't be good if it keeps falling down like that. So hopefully that just fell down and we get back up there and it can spring back up for the ASST. And also the what was the other one? LDI right here was pulling back a little bit more, but that one actually looks like it's trying to stop itself, and we'll see if it can get that curl going. So we'll be watching that LDI as well. And let's see what TTD is doing. That one actually didn't look too bad today. It was down a little bit, but it was just kind of flat, not too bad right there. And OP is an interesting one. This Ocean Pal, guys, check this thing out. Remember, it was getting to be in the right spot right there. And look at that thing. Just took a nasty dip. So definitely watch this thing, though, tomorrow. You could have a nice bounce off it. So that you could get a nice little, like I said, bounce. So keep an eye on OP. It's just setting up in the right spot. And DXF, we went over last night, and this was running up there and looks like it wants to get into the top, and we'll have to see tomorrow if it does. I mean, it's trying to, but you have that big spike up right there, and I'm not sure if it's going to keep on running, maybe pull back and then try to bounce back up. We're not seeing them really run at this moment anyway, so any little spike ups, you probably want to take them profits real quick and then try to move them to something else. So Hertz right here, not looking bad, hitting that resistance up there, getting into the top. If it can get over that resistance, as you can see, it's spiking up there and it's hitting up there. It's not looking, if it can get over this area at 744, you know it would get blasted off. And it was hitting it. I mean, it got over it today. That's for sure. It got to what, 7 something? And yeah, it just has to get off 743 is where it needs to get to. And then it can get popping right there. So that's where it needs to get to for HTZ and get through. And this Tylenol maker is not looking so good today. Yeah, that tweet that they posted out in like 2018 or 17 or whatever probably came back to bite them in the ass. It says, "We do not recommend pregnant women to take Tylenol." How crazy is that, guys? So yeah, I mean, they said it themselves, and there you go. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't take anything anyway. So, but there is a big spike in autism. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the Tylenol. I don't know, but at least they're trying to figure something out. I mean, nobody else, the last administration didn't try to figure anything out ever. And so, yeah, at least they're trying to do something in the right direction, at least. I mean, maybe this isn't the exact answer, but it might be a good place to start and get people talking about it. Of course, you got maniacs online that are pregnant eating Tylenol. So interesting. Watch if the kids come out like autistic or something. Wouldn't that be some shit? I mean, I won't wish that on anybody. I'm just saying, wouldn't that be some shit? And that would be kind of crazy. But anyway, KVUE, that is the makers of Tylenol. And I think their like headquarters is in New Jersey somewheres, up in North Jersey. Luis Rodriguez, I think it's up near you. And they say like the autism rates in that town are just like absolutely insane. So yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on anyway, but that's the makers of Tylenol, and that's what they posted out, like I said, a couple of years ago. So anyway, we'll keep on cruising, and there's your Tylenol discussion. ALB right here, still running up. We had that on the list, and it is looking pretty good right there, I have to say. And this LAC, that Lithium Americas Corp, was running up there pretty good today too. So that was probably the only other good one right there. And DFLI, that Dragonfly, we did say wanted to fly up a little last night, and it did fly up. So that one was looking good. OPTT, Ocean Power Technologies, trying to get in the right area right there. You can see it trying to get set up. So I'll be watching that. And this one's getting to be in the right spot finally, IONZ, and it was popping up there. So you can watch this one tomorrow as well, because you might get some run up on IONZ as it's setting up. You can see it trying to curl up and keep that momentum. And that's the short IONQ. I didn't even realize that was that one. So yeah, this one's been trending, and I've been seeing it on the scanners, and that's probably why. So that's an ETF right there, and that one's probably going to be a pretty decent one, as IONQ is way up there. So interesting right there, that's for sure. And let's see what else is going on this evening. TONX right here, Tone or whatever, Ton. And it is. It's trying to get set up in the right spot. It's a shame that crypto's doing terrible right now, but maybe this one can like beat a big runner or something. And FGNX was popping up there today. Kind of surprised with Ethereum way down, but look at it. It looks pretty good, like it's trying to bottom out. So I'm not sure what they have going on over at this FGNX, but it doesn't look bad this evening anyway. So we'll have to look at it tomorrow with crypto pulling back there. And how about Datavolt? And remember, we were talking about Daniel Javier Fitz over here, and look at that thing over $1.03 today. It was spiking up. It's at 83. Oh, it did. It's up at $1.03 right now. It was up there earlier. It was spiking up, and there you go. So yeah, look at that thing, $1.02. It's right there. So it got to $1.07. And yeah, look at that bad boy. That is looking pretty good right there for Datavolt, DVLT. We were just talking about it and mentioned Daniel Javier Fitz. He does that after show, and he does a couple different podcasts, but he's a big CNR guy, and that was a great popper right there, that's for sure. And he had mentioned it on Facebook. We were talking about it the other night, and there you go with that list. And again, not a whole lot going on, guys, so I'll just run through our laptop travel list. We'll see what's going on with our Joe Lee's jams, and then we'll go through our SPY Mag 7 big caps, all them guys. We looked at crypto. That's a disaster right now. And we'll see if this market can actually bounce. Not sure if it's because of the government shutdown looming in a few days or what the heck's going on here. And Zach said he sent a screenshot of a headline of Ken Griffin earlier today talking about how the market has significant resemblance of the .com era, like you've been saying way before him. Thank you, Zach. And yeah, and again, we were talking about this on the small cap show, and Ben had said, the market likes to sell off at Rosh Hashanah and pick back up on Yom Kippur, and again, a lot of Jewish people do trade a lot. Yom Kippur is coming up in October. It begins Wednesday, October 1st. So how interesting is that? When the shutdown is supposed to be. So that is when Yom Kippur actually starts, and it's kind of weird, but it is just timed out. It always does something crazy like this, and we'll see if it's really going to shut down. I think it could just get popping next Wednesday. We see a little bit of pullback here until that shutdown area, and that would be right around next Wednesday there. So a little less than a week away. Maybe we see a little bounce around, pullback here, and we'll find the good opportunities if they are presented, and that's the instance to us. And if there's anything else popping, of course, we'll be trying to find it. That. So just giving you as a heads up. And AIM right here was trying to aim up the other day, and that bad boy is trying to aim up. AIM Immunotech right there. And look at that bad boy. That one might be one to keep on the radar tomorrow. That could have a little push on it. And ATER right here, Tarian, that looks pretty good as well. So laptop travel list looking pretty good right there so far. BNZI was up today. I did see that little healthy pullback in the after hours, but that looks good too. So we might have to keep an eye on the laptop travel list right here as everything else is pulling back. That G-Tech could have a little more pullback on it, but it would get set up. We just have to watch it. And LG, there's something like that. I was writing it down, and I was wondering what it was. LGCB, that's it. Linkage Global, that is exactly it. And that thing, look at that bad boy coming back to that MACD, but a lot of support there. Oh, wow, it pulled back big time to 202, so it's way down here. Well, it don't have that support anymore, so we'd have to look at that tomorrow. That one got hit down in the after hours right there. And LSTA, Licita, I don't even know, Licita Therapeutics or something. Or if it's not, it's Lisa Ta. I have no idea. Anyway, this one, that 20 is going to definitely get curling up there. It's just going to take a little while. So that one has some time. And PW right here, power right. And this thing is right there. I mean, look at it, trying to push its way through. It's a little bit flat, but this is probably one to keep an eye on with that 20 support lines and resistance all over it. So PW right there, it could be getting set up. NSLNG is Stabilis something solutions. Well, that one's not looking bad. It's hitting that resistance. If it can just get popping off at that 422, it's pulling back a little bit there. Have to look at it tomorrow. But SLNG there. There we go. And yeah, it could pull back a little tomorrow, but that's going to stay in that channel to run up there. And SMX is a security company right here. Let me type it in. SMX. Security matters right here. And let's see, it sure does matter. And that's in a good spot for tomorrow, guys. So keep an eye on SMX right there. And what does that say? VBIX, I believe I wrote down. Let me see if that's one VBIX. And it is ViewBix. And let's say that one's not looking bad from there. And that's curling up and not, yeah, up a couple cents, came back down. Let's see what VBIX is up to over here. Just sitting there bouncing around, but doesn't look bad off of that 20 there. And let's see what VMAR is up to. Vision Marine Technologies, and that's been in the basement. That could be a good curl up too right there. So some of these small ones could get moving. You could see it was already running. We'll see if it wants to continue tomorrow. But some of the small cap ones will probably be pretty decent if everything's pulling back. That IWM did pull back today, back to the 20. So we'll have to see how far that wants to pull back. And obviously, your SPY was down right there. And speaking of, well, we'll go through our Joey's Jams and look at Rhythm right here. It was pulling back a little bit, the old Agrify. Blink Charging, let's see this one. That was hitting the resistance and pulling back. It's still in the top. And even Sezzle right here was pulling back, but almost has that look like it wants to get turned around. So, and we know this one can run pretty big. And how about our Sterling right here? And that one, it's trying to bounce back up. It did take a big dip down yesterday, and I guess it was dipping down a little bit today. And we'll see if it wants to get off of the MACD up here and bounce back as it's coming up. It's in a bullish channel right there, good old Sterling. It's just pulling back with the rest of the market. Rivian's down a little bit, but not even too crazy, making a little base at the top, but it could come back. It could go either which way. Have to look at that tomorrow. And Symbotic probably wants to bounce off of that baseline right there. And how about our Nike coming down pretty good and DXYZ coming down? And that'll be a good, like I said, I just watched these for these dips right here, and that's perfect. And I was watching that today saying it might dip a little more tomorrow. And I'm definitely going to be looking into that one. And I told you, this one will be a good one when the market turns around. You're going to get a good run out of that. And we've seen that one before. It does not have options, so you got to buy stocks, but that's perfectly fine because it could move. And that is something that's invested in SpaceX. And SATS right here, EchoStar, is another one, but that one's been way run up. Hitting the 20, it's trying to stay up there, but also trying to have that pullback look. So have to look at that one. And let's see what's going on with our SPY was down. Apple was up right here and not looking bad. I'd say Apple probably looks the best out of them right now. Amazon down, and we were talking about it. It could have a little bit more pullback. It almost looks like it's trying to bottom there, and you have what your 200 down here. So we'll have to see what Amazon wants to do tomorrow. Google is pulling back down, hitting that 20 area, and it looks like it's trying to bounce back up in the after hours, so that would be pretty good. And how about Meta was pulling back pretty good and coming back down to that 50 and crossing through the MACD. So, yeah, they aren't looking the best right now. It's probably why I didn't like them the other day, huh? And Microsoft even pulling back right here. I should have went with my gut the other way. I said I didn't like any, and then all of a sudden Tesla looked great. It was running up yesterday. It really did. It looked beautiful to run up some more until this morning. And then obviously it definitely didn't run up anymore. It turned around and made a U-turn and went the other way. And the video right here just kind of hanging out. And that could be getting set up. So, and of course, we are just talking about this, and that's a pretty big dip right there out of the top. It's not through the MACD, so we'll see if it can actually get rolling back off and pop up there. And again, they have like all them options expiring tomorrow at like 470. So that was what was fascinating to me. And I think they're still in the money, but that thing comes back down a little bit more. They're giving back a lot of profits right there. That's for sure. Anyway, that's your Tesla, your Mag 7, and all them guys. AMC was down, and I guess it's going to come back down and hit right here and then have to get set back up. It was setting up even better before until today. It turned all the chart changed around today, and GameStop pulled back too today because I was looking at that. But Chewy was up, and it doesn't look bad, I have to say. Chewy don't look bad there. Unity came back down some more, so we'll watch that one dip back. And Netflix right here. is up a little bit, just kind of stable, nothing real crazy. I forgot, isn't there a Thursday night game on? I just said Netflix, but yeah, it's hold on, who's even playing? I have no idea. I forgot to put it on. I'll just look real quick. And yeah, Netflix just kind of staying there. It could pull back a little bit more. And the Seahawks and the Cardinals are playing. It's the first quarter with 9 minutes left, and it's 0-0. So that is what's going on in the NFL right now on Thursday Night Football. And here we go. And it is on Prime Amazon. That's why I was like, Prime Amazon, hold on. Anyway, that's where the game is tonight. And what are we looking at? Netflix, AVGO, our semiconductors, they were pulling back a little bit. That doesn't look bad to try to stop itself on the 20. It does look like it wants to pull back some more, but it did look like it was trying to stop itself. Maybe it's just trying to parachute and hold itself up a little bit so it didn't go crashing down. MU was dipping down after that big run up. TSM was dipping down after the all-time highs, and you can see it has the resistance up there. SMCI looking pretty good. We were talking about it. I think that's another one, guys, that actually looks pretty decent. AMD looks good too, and I was talking about this one. So I like AMD at the moment as well. SMCI. So there's a few quick setups right here. And QCOM was pulling back. That had run up. That looked good, like it wanted to continue too, and it did pull back, and Snow kind of pulled back there and sitting on the line. How about your PayPal? That's down a little bit more to the support line. We'll see if it can hold up there. Intel ran up and might possibly run up some more tomorrow. That actually looks like it could keep that momentum right there. And Dell was pulling back, but that doesn't look bad to also roll off the MACD. So keep an eye on that. IBM, look at that monster right there, guys. Holy cow. Remember, we were all over that IBM super early. And look at that thing just running up like a beast. So there you go. We were definitely way early for that one. And Palantir right here. There you go with Palantir. And that one's just kind of hanging out at the moment, not really doing much. And Sophie, a little healthy pullback's got a pretty tight channel, so it shouldn't be too bad. And Mara took a big dip right there. I did see that. And how about Riot right there? That was pulling back some, not as bad as Mara. And CleanSpark had a little pullback. It looks like it's going to come out of the top right there. And MicroStrategy took a big dip, though. And that one's pulling back pretty good with Bitcoin taking a huge dip as well. Robinhood coming back down. Coinbase was taking a big dip right there, and we'll watch for that. That could be a good opportunity. And how about Webull when we talk about it looking good? It's the one that's running up there. So, I mean, we did point out a couple short ones that were looking pretty good, and they're not up a crazy amount. This one had run up recently, just setting back up. It's going to bounce off. So, Space, SPCE, and it did look good the other day when it ran up. Yeah, you just have that healthy pullback, and Boeing's still just kind of hanging out. And again, I didn't think it was going to curl through. It still don't look like it's going to. So it was just running up on that curl up. DJT coming back down, and of course, Fun likes to follow it, so that did exactly that. And MCD McDonald's was pulling back. It was running around actually. It was up this morning, I think. Yeah, it got up to 306. And now you're at 302. It came down to 301 area. And how about Disney right here pulling back some? That looked like it was trying to bottom a little flat and maybe not even get through now. And Oxy and ExxonMobil, both not looking bad right there. So there you go, everybody. I would say that is what we're looking at in the market. And again, there's a couple of decent ones. So let me run through and see what you guys are talking about and looking at right there. And we will definitely see what's going on. So let me just scroll right through. We were talking about Tesla and what Papa, what did I say? Papa Joshio, I think I said it right. And TNMG with an all-star close. Looks like PM Gapper right there. Let's check that out. TNMG. Yeah, TNL Media Gene. It was running up there in the after hours. You're absolutely right about that. So let's hop over here and take a better look at TNMG. And you're right. That could be a pre-market runner right there. Laptop travel and 4AMers. Take a look at that TNMG right there. That is not looking bad. And that's a good eye right there. Papa Joshio, I think, is how you say it. So thanks for tuning in and hanging out. And good one right there. I like it. We were talking about the government shutdowns, laptop travel. So we only watch stream the movies, never watch the mainstream TV. Yeah, I don't watch. I don't even have the cable anymore. I do have like YouTube TV. I told you guys know I don't watch anything anyway, so you guys know that I put sports on in the background. That's about it, and I keep you updated on a football game or whatever, the playoffs or something important. So there you go. And yeah, it's much better. Just look at the market; it's cooler. And so yeah, I'm just watching the football game. The score: the Cardinals have the ball. It is 8:46 left in the first quarter. Second and 10, 0-0. So there you go. And let's see, we were all hurting today, Robin. We were talking about that Tesla and everything else. Definitely pulling back right there. Had a bullet in your mouth, but kept spitting it out and not biting down. I think you had 3 orders you put in and then canceled and didn't feel right. Yeah, Joseph Levy, it was one of them days that just didn't feel right. I won't disagree with that at all. So when it doesn't feel right, just don't force it, right? And like I said, Tesla felt right and looked good yesterday, but that made a quick U-turn today. That ALB is looking good there, Luis Rodriguez. We had it on the list for the last few days, and your ASML, I'd say, looks like it does want to curl up right there and get moving some more. So keep an eye on that. Silver's looking. SLV. Silver's looking good. SIL. Oh, yeah, SIL right here, running back up. JNUG, these were looking pretty good. And then UGT right here. That one's not too bad. Nug, they had a little dip down and then they like to bounce right back up. They're staying in the top. They've been doing it for a while right there. Your Duolingo right there was up today and could continue its way up. So keep an eye on that one. DUOL. And we'll watch that and see if it can keep its way, keep going up. Hertz was looking good. We were looking at that one already and talking about that. And LEU, what is that? Centrus Energy. And that was cruising along today. I'd keep an eye on that in the morning, guys. That one could be a jumper up there in the morning. And let's see, we just looked at JNUG. I didn't even put it on there, but JNUG is looking good, guys, for gold. And that light bridge right there, it wasn't too bad today. So keep your eyes on LTBR. And what is Z? That Zillow group right here. Whoa, that's a nice dip on Zillow, huh? Let's see what that's up to there, Doge Mama 9, and see what Zillow looks like over here. That is a nice dip. I'd say we watch it tomorrow, pull back a little bit more, and then we find a bottom on that one. That one could be a good one. Yesterday was great. Today was so different. You are not kidding, Doge Mama 9. And that is how fast the markets move. And while you always just have to lock in profits, and obviously every day is not going to be perfect and green, and we'll battle that right back and not a big deal. But yeah, that just shows you any day is any, they can tap. That's why I talk about locking in those profits. You just never know what's going to happen the next day or even the next minute sometimes. So unfortunately today, it just did not want to go. And again, I'm not even sure what was going on. I couldn't figure it out myself. I don't know if it's the government shutdown looming, what the hell's going on, but crypto was selling off and the markets were definitely down. And you can see crypto down right there. We went through it already, so not looking pretty. And let's keep on cruising and see what you guys want to see. And you think they underwhelmed, and let's see upgrades mindset, Joseph Levy. There you go. When you're not feeling it, dude, just cancel them orders and just take the day off, and don't try to force it, because it's not going to end up well for you. And PSQH makes me think Pew Don Jr. couldn't write the fast 3 letters of the alphabet. It's too funny right there. And yeah, it's I don't know what the heck's going on with them. I mean, honestly, PSQH, look at this, guys. They announced today they're going to launch a crypto treasury as service to its robust merchant ecosystem. And this thing takes a huge dip. When have we ever seen the things take like a huge dip, except for the Trump company ones? Whenever they announce anything like crypto treasury or something, it had already been run up there. Remember, it had been looking good. And the next thing you know, the things come shortened down. Isn't it impressive? They're the only companies that actually do that every single time. And every other company just runs straight up. And this one already runs up ahead of time and then gets shorted down that morning. Just keep an eye out for that, guys, because I've noticed it. That's why I don't play. And this one was looking good. We talked about it. It looked like it wanted that momentum today. And then it looks like you can just see it. They just crushed it. So I guess we really all have to just keep that in mind with this PSQH, that PEW, and NCPL, and of course ABTC, because they're probably going to be doing that to that as well. So it is something interesting to keep an eye out for, but we'll definitely be watching that for sure. And Joseph Levy said he kept questioning and decided not to look at the market after nothing was reversing after lunchtime. Yeah, I actually quick little crazy story. My wife called me because the school didn't call me. I just got an email, but I didn't even notice. And she's like, "Hey, did the school call you?" And I said, "No, why? What happened?" And she's like, "They had an emergency and they have to close." I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, the plumbing is messed up and they got to close the school. It's since fixed. They sent out an email. It'll be fine tomorrow." Last week, the power was out at his school, and then like the first week of school, my daughter's school is like literally like 3 blocks away from his school. It just so happens that the high school, like the one high school, is close to that school, and her bathrooms they had to leave early at 12:30 because she said that a freshman flushed a disposable vape down a toilet. It blocked up the whole entire toilet. It was overflowing, and it's not funny, but it is. And so yeah, they had to leave school early for that. So I mean, it's been like what 3 weeks of school every week. They had some kind of emergency between the two schools. It's been crazy. And then my son's school, they realized that the emergency system wasn't even working, right? Because they have like this one emergency system that they're supposed to like be able to push a button and it obviously just blasts everything out to people. And they had mentioned that in the email too. They said, well, we realized the emergency system's not working, so we have the company coming in tomorrow to address that situation. And I said, well, luckily it happened during a plumbing leak and nothing really major. So it's better to find that out at that point. But yeah, how crazy is that? So I had to run over, pick up my little guy, and then I had to pick up his buddy because his mom's a teacher too. And yeah, that's it was just crazy. I was like, holy cow, it never ends. It's crazy when you have kids. I'm telling you, it's just you just never know. Any given day, something crazy can happen. They can be throwing up at school. Anything can happen. It's just bizarre. I guess we were the same way growing up. You just don't realize it because you were in school and your parents were the one trying to figure it out. And now it's us trying to figure it out. And it's just wild. You're like, all right, I guess I'm going to pick him up. And I was like trying to do stuff. So anyway, that happened to me today. I said, well, it was a pretty good day for it to happen, though, because it really wasn't a whole lot going on, to be honest. So there you are with a quick story of what was going on today. And yeah, he does that. And then tomorrow, guys, I'm just going to be on my phone, I think, for most of the day because I have recess duty tomorrow at his school. It's pretty wild when you send your kids to private school. They make it very involved for the families and everybody, which is great. I think it is very good. That's why I don't complain about it. I think it's a good thing. And obviously, like all the parents that you meet are all on the same page for the most part. I mean, you spend money to send your kid to a school. You just want the best for everybody, and you want everybody to kind of be safe and have a good time. So everybody's basically on the same page. So that's nice as well. So yeah, they make everybody do like a recess duty, and so you have to go in one or 2 days and do the recess duty. So tomorrow is my day to do that, and I'll be out there from like 10:30 to 1 or something, hanging out with the kids. I guess I have no idea what we do, but that's tomorrow. So yeah, I'm like, this is great. The market's all crazy because usually Fridays aren't too bad, but now it's like all wild. So I'll keep you guys posted. I don't think recess duty is going to be too involved, to be honest with you. There's like a couple parents that have to do it and teachers, and I think they just want extra eyes out there on the playground because there's a lot of kids and it's a big area. So I think they just kind of tell you to go off on your little spot and make sure the kids don't run past you, is what I'm assuming, and make sure no one gets hurt. So should be pretty easy, but it should be fun. I don't mind. So yeah, that's tomorrow. So just something crazy, something interesting. Tell you about my life a little bit, what's going on, because I'm telling you, it's everybody's life. You guys are probably sitting there like, wow, it's not just me. Yeah, everybody's life is just completely crazy all the time. I think if you try to live a normal life, there's just always weird things that happen, and you're just like, well, I guess this is just a little bump in the road, and we got to go through it and just keep on cruising. So it just seems to happen a lot, and that's why I just laugh about it and keep on cruising, guys. So what else are you gonna do? So yeah, that was going on, and lunch or recess duty tomorrow. That should be fun. I'm sure Dougie will be excited to see me there, and that'll be cool. So anyway, let's see. Market is reacting to valuation jitters. So that's what Laptop Travel was saying right there. And even the chandelier was down, and that is our Microsoft right there. And it was down, and this thing looks pretty good to get cruising up. As you can see, it wants to roll off, but right now you got to look at it tomorrow to see exactly what it wants to do. And and let's see. Oh, Joseph Levy, you broke even to you did great. No, it's and this is what I try to say. I didn't trade anything today either. I had my Tesla calls and I have some AMD calls now. I didn't trade them, but I got some because I liked it off that bottom right there. It was looking pretty good, and I have been liking it. So I think AMD gets popping up, and hopefully our Tesla gets rolling back, and we know Tesla can rebound pretty easily. I mean, look at it. It's pretty resilient. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. It did come out the top there, but it could bounce right back up, and we'll see exactly how it opens up tomorrow morning. You can't really tell. Down 30 cents right there. I think most of them were kind of red in the overnight. I just looked at the Yahoo app, and it's pretty good for the overnight stuff. And what did it say? Let me take a look. Oh, it's 6-3 right now. Look at that. All that action just happened. A minute 33 left in the first. Seahawks had the ball, and it's 6-3. The Seahawks are beating the Cardinals right there. And what the heck was I talking about? I forget what I was even going to look at. I don't even know. I forget, to be honest with you. I looked at the game instead. What the heck was I looking at? We're talking about Tesla. I have no idea. Anyway, let's just keep on going through the market and see what's happening and see what we have to look at for tomorrow. But yeah, Joseph Levy, don't force anything, and definitely just, if you don't like it, then it's perfectly fine, because guess what? If you don't like it, chances are it's not going to end up turning out well for you. So Powell put the kibosh on that rally. He sure did yesterday. I'll tell you that. Was that yesterday, Tuesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Yesterday? Well, yeah, it was yesterday. I'm telling you, I can't even. Days go by. It's like wild. I feel like 3 days go like it's like 3 days. Amazon was one of your top picks yesterday for the Ben and Discord, and like we said, Amazon not too bad right there. So trying to rebound. It was dipping down. It jumped around a little bit. So we'll be watching that one. And let's see. And yeah, and then he turns around and threatens 50% tariffs on farm and kitchen cabinet manufacturers and all the. I think he just put like huge tariffs or something on big trucks or something. I think I just saw. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. There's always some nonsense going on, and I think we got to figure out what's happening with the government shutdown. To be honest with you, I think that could be the biggest thing at this moment, anyway. And let's see, stare at my profile. We will certainly stare at it, and we'll give you an opinion on AGRI Agriforce right there. And let's see where you're at. AGRI right here, 370. You're right there. It is pulling back. Honestly, it doesn't look bad. You got your 20 meeting up with your 50, and we do like that. You could get a pop up, and you're like right there, 375. I don't think you're going to get too much into the down into the 20, because you should be curling it up tomorrow. It looks like it wants to. I'll look at it tomorrow morning for you. That's for sure. There, stare at my profile. AGRI, we're familiar with Agriforce growing systems, and I know it did just recently run up. Was that the run up we were looking at the other day? It could have been. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad. A lot of these do run up and then they come back down and set back up. This one actually appears like it's going to. And the other one that looked like it was going to, and it certainly did it, was ORIS. And I'll just show you the example right here. And I said it yesterday. It looked like it wanted to, because you're 20 and 50. You were going to meet up. And is it going to continue to run? I'm not exactly sure about that, but you got a pretty good run in it today. It was up there and moving around. So that was another one of them looks. So stare at my profile. It could have a little pullback. You might have to wait a few days, but it should get cruising, is what it looks like. And I'll look at it in the morning for you, and we'll keep an eye on Agriforce growing systems right there. But yeah, you might get that after that run up. another spike up there. And that after that one, you better be careful because once it runs up again, it usually comes back down after that. So just giving you a little heads up to keep an eye on it for that. And as you're 20, and it could be like a next weeker because tomorrow's Friday, obviously. So we'll watch it for you, no problem. And you can remind us, just hop on and throw it up there each night, and we'll look at AgriForce growing system for you and let you know what it looks like. And if Trump gets in a fight with Elon again, anyone who buys a Tesla or rides a robo-taxi will have to pay 100% tariff. This is not the way to responsibly lead a free market country. Shameful. You're not even kidding. It's so funny because he would probably say something crazy like that. So hopefully them two never bicker again because that was crazy when them two were going at it. The markets didn't like that. That was that was sure very reminiscent of Mar-a-Lago, and maybe Trump's having flashbacks of his TV show. It's not a dictatorship. Good governance, encourage growth and ingenuity. Tariffs and taxes stifle the economy, Laptop Travel is saying. And Luis Rodriguez bought November Hertz calls options today. Plan to hold them through the earnings run up right there. And let's see. And you did see that post, Joseph. And you did send that, Zach. I think I retweeted that out as a matter of fact. And you were saying, Ken Griffin earlier was talking about how the market has significant resemblance of the .com era, like I've been saying. And again, Money Mark pointed that out to me. So I'm not going to say that it was something that I picked up on. I only picked up on it because Money Mark on the Small Cap Show had said something to me. He said, hey, Dougie Fresh, just do a little research. You remember back in 99 what the charts look like? And I was like thinking, I'm like, 99 was like just getting out of high school and culinary school. I was just going to start getting into it. So I didn't even remember it was like .com boom. And I was just sitting there and I'm like, I don't think I knew the chart. So I went back and looked, and I came back the next week. I looked at him for a couple days there, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. He's absolutely on to something. And he knew because he was pretty sure he retired during that .com boom right there. So just to give you a little heads up of how crazy the booms can be. And yeah, it does. It just has that look. And again, every time, like, these are pullbacks right here, guys. And this is what you're going to run up and you're going to get pullbacks. Again, Teslas look like it wanted to still hop up. It came down. It's very well could be. My option's like a month out, a little. I think it's just a month out. So I think I'll be pretty good on it. It had a little pullback today, not the end of the world. And we'll see how it works tomorrow, how it opens up in the next day. And again, maybe it does take until next week to actually get really fired up. We'll see how the market gets opening up tomorrow. We'll get a better idea. You guys know that for sure. And let's see if we see RR Rich Tech Robotics continuing its pullback. And no problem there, Zach. Glad that you worked that. You got out of that one. I do see it pulling back some more, as a matter of fact. And let's see how much it does. Yeah, you might come back right to that 20 because, look, you're going to have to roll off that MACD. And you should roll off the MACD, Zach. So watch for it right there. But I would assume you're going to come back down into that area. You could come into like the 360s, 370s, anywhere. So just coming down like this to get rolled back up is what it looks like, because then that would get rolled back off there. And that's what that looks like for you. So we'll keep an eye on Rich Tech Robotics as well. We look at it pretty often there. So yeah, just bring it up on the show, you know that. But it does look like it could have a little pullback. Says it was up a little bit in the after hours, nothing real crazy. And we'll see. Maybe it tried the bottom there and it tries that faster raw. It's all going to depend on tomorrow, really. And so yeah, you'll be able to tell if it's going to pull back. It's going to go in easy and then roll up. So tomorrow might be a good day to look at it for a little buy action right there, in anticipating that roll off there. So that's what it looks like to me there, Zach. So hope that helps out. And Hertz, their net proceeds, about $360 million after fees, are laser focused by Hertz on redeeming their previously worrisome $500 million seniors unsecured notes due in 2026. So they're definitely trying to pump it up there. And if you get a November and a December rate cut, they'll definitely fly. Not to mention how they are embracing EV. Yeah, Hertz will fly because of them rate cuts because they lease and get so many cars. So obviously they'll save a ton of money, and that'll make it very more profitable for the company. That's for sure. And let's see, the earnings beat. And what's the any affiliation? Oh, what is there a stock ticker there? DOUG. There is a stock ticker. We do know this one. I mean, we don't really go over it, but I do know there's DOUG, and it's a real estate one. Douglas Elliman. And so yeah, it's actually not looking too bad right there for good old DOUG. I like it. We should all buy DOUG. You'll be like, who are these people? But it does look pretty good. Doug has a good real estate company there, I guess. Real estate services right here. Let's see. Launched private listings. Real estate broker Douglas Elliman stock looks cheap. Amid takeover interest. Oh, maybe I don't know what's going on there, but it does look pretty good, I must say. And it's all the way up here too, but it's rolling off and trying to pop up. So I would say DOUG, good old Doug, is looking good right there. We'll have to keep an eye on good old Doug there and see what he's up to. And let's see, you're thinking about grabbing some of them Hertz calls today, right there, Joseph Levy, and yeah, I watch and see what it wants to do tomorrow real quick because it has that resistance. And again, maybe it gets built, it kind of gets built up a little bit right here to pop up, and maybe you get a little bit of a better price action down here. So just watch it tomorrow because look at the bottom, 672 right there today, and it's in the 7s, so you might get it down in them 6s is what I'm saying. So just watch what it's trying to do there. And Yankees are down so far in the game, so thank you for that update. And Walk was down there at my profile. I had taken a big dip right there and came down more. I saw a bunch of people talking about it. I didn't think it was going to bounce. That's why I didn't even add it to the list yesterday, to be honest. Ran around a little bit right there, but it was quick and it came back down underneath where it opened. So that's why and another reason why I didn't really want to mess with it because couldn't really tell. I knew it wasn't going to bounce, and I just thought it had more pullback in it, to be completely honest with you. So I saw it last night with that dip, saw a lot of people mentioning it, and I didn't even add it to the list because of that reason. I'll watch it. I'll keep my eye on it and let you guys know when I think it's ready, but I just don't think it's ready. I still don't think it's popping up like this. So I think you could even have a little more pullback on WOK, and then we'll have to see what's going on. And they did their direct offering right there, so that's what happened. And that's it. Just let that dust settle, and then we'll catch it on the way up. Obviously, it'll be great. Look at it; it was just trading at 70 something cents. It's at 8 cents now. We might get it at like 4, just like we're like 3, like we did for RAYA right here, Raya. And look at that thing way back down into the 4s, guys. How crazy is that? And we bought it like right around here. I mean, I know I was in like the very low 4s right there. And look at that thing came back. And thank goodness I sold it yesterday in the 7s, right around 7. And there you go. So locking in profits, guys, is never going to hurt you. I promise you that. Especially when you see it do this, it makes you feel amazing. You're like, God damn, I'm like a rocket scientist in the market. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, it does make you, it boosts your confidence. And that's exactly, I think that's a lot to do with the market, guys, is really getting in the zone, having confidence that you're not going to hit them all. But if you're just confident at what you're looking at, you'll do pretty well. And obviously, like I said, Tesla looked like it wanted to roll this morning and it just had a U-turn. There's nothing you can do about that. But Tesla's one that's pretty resilient. Like I said, it can bounce right back up with no problem. So that's what Walk looks like. Stare at my profile. And let's see, the Trump family has mastered buy the rumor because they start the rumor and sell the news. They certainly are. They certainly have. It's grifting 101. They've got it down to a science laptop travel. And that's why I didn't mess with Pew the last time. That one, look at this thing. It ran up. And I mean, it opened up like this, guys. And then the next thing you know, it just came crashing down. I was like, oh, that doesn't look right. Something's up with that thing. I wouldn't mess with that bad boy. And look at it. It's still down. It's down even lower. So crazy. What? 4-3. The Yankees took the lead. Holy cow. That must be a game right there. I'll have to look at some of these scores. I'll tell you what's going on the first in the football game real quick. Let me refresh it. And anyway, let's keep on cruising. And Let's see, Joseph Levy. There you go. Yeah. Hang out with kids. That'll be great for you and me. You don't have to listen to adults shout at us acting like little kids. Yeah, that's true. You're not kidding. I'm like a kid. I have fun. I don't care. And it was kind of crazy. I walked up to the school and I had to take Dougie's friend with me. They live right down the street, and we know them really well. But I'm like, I was like, again, it's emergency, and his mom's a teacher as well at a different school. And she emailed over the teacher, and I walked up, and they're like, "Oh, you're Dougie's dad." And I look over, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm taking Gannon with me." And the teacher is looking, I'm like, I'm pretty sure his mom emailed you, and he's like, Mr. Doug. And she looked and she's like, okay. I was just like, good thing it's like a private school. They pretty much know like everything's good because that would never happen in a public school, I promise you. And then Gannon came back here and the kids played for a while. We hung out, and then Gannon's pop came and picked them up, and then yeah, me and Dougie were hanging out for a little while. So yeah, they had an emergency day today at school because the bathrooms. I don't know what's going on with the plumbing in all these schools, but it seems to be pretty wild. And so yeah, hopefully everything's working tomorrow. And like I said, I'll be there for recess day. That'll be pretty fun. And Zach said how it'd be bad if had to be on a recess duty. You'd be constantly on your phone checking out the market. Yeah, Zach, I constantly looking on my phone all the time, but it's all good. Like I said, I can kind of monitor the market enough where I know what's going on for like an hour or two and be all right. So it'll be good. And but yeah, it's kind of crazy. You said it's bad enough when you bring the kiddos to the bus stop, which is right at the market open. I know it's crazy. I'm telling you, it's like everything you do, it's like right at the perfect timing or the worst timing, whatever you need to really do. And you're like dropping kids off at sports or wherever. And it's just part of life. I mean, that's what you have to do. So it's you have to try to figure that out, and that's why I say everybody has to adapt to a trading style that can even work for them because we all have these different things at different times and everything else going on, and it's always crazy. So that is why I say that often, and no problem for looking at RR. We'll look at it, and we'll continue to. And let's see. Joseph Levy has a question for anyone that knows. I'm at 100% service connected disability and on Social Security. If you start making big profit, I am not sure, Joseph Levy, to be honest with you. Does anyone else know that? I am not 100% sure either. I can tell you this, though, Joseph Levy, they do not count. And I know this for a fact because if they ever tried to say anything to me, they don't count making money as income because I don't collect any. I was never allowed to get anything. I actually can collect disability because a doctor said I'm disabled from my brain injury. And but yeah, I still never even I forget to call all the time. That's my problem, guys. It's just whatever. But anyway, yeah, I've never collected a dime since I've gotten hit in the head. And they told me I was never allowed because I was always self-employed and then I trade. But I'm like, yo, I've made money doing this. I have income. And they're like, oh, that doesn't count. I'm like, okay, so it doesn't count. That's fine. So don't count it if against me then. So yeah, I kind of had that same question, Joseph. And I'm just gonna have to play against them in New Jersey and say, well, guys, you did tell me it didn't count as income when it was time to pay me the disability or whatever, it didn't count. How's it going to count now? Because now you're paying me. Like it doesn't work that way. So I would have to fight that completely because again, they completely denied me for everything. And I was like, guys, I make money. Like I don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, I don't know, but yeah, I'm not exactly sure. To be completely honest with you, Joseph Levy, you have to ask like an accountant or somebody like that to be completely honest. And I think each state could be a little bit different as well. So that's the other thing you have to look into. Each state's set up a little bit differently. So that you have to really just talk to some like an accountant or somebody, hit somebody up and ask them about that. Yeah, I always wonder the same thing. I'm like, I'm telling you, technically, I'm supposed to be on disability. And I tell you guys, like, give me a job application. I'll butcher that thing. You'll look at it like I'm a retard, guys. I'm telling you, I don't know what the hell I look at. It's just bizarre. And but again, I suffered a major brain injury. Like I said, I probably got hit harder than anybody in the history of life and survived. And to be sitting here still talking to people is pretty amazing. No doctor or anybody could believe I even survived, let alone sit here and like be able to function. So they're just like, yeah, we don't know what to do. And again, I had every cognitive test. It's how I knew Biden was not well. Um, I'd been hit in the head at that time. I looked exactly like him. I was in another planet. I tell you guys all the time. I was literally in another galaxy. And I took every cognitive test. They told me I lost over 30 IQ points. And so, yeah, I had to take these tests, and they're like all day long. It's crazy. I told you guys, I fell asleep. I woke up. The doctor was asking me questions. My brain just shut off. I was just done. And I woke up, and I was like, she looked at me. She's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Was I sleeping?" She's like, "Yes." She's like, "Well, this is the last question." I'm like, "Yeah, can you just end this thing now? Because I'm like exhausted from this thing." Yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, that's how I was like, this guy, there's no way he could take that test and pass any of it because I couldn't do it. And I was more coherent than him at that time. And I had just gotten hit with a 10-ton jack with the pressure of a 2-story house right in my head. And somehow I was more coherent than him. But anyway, so yeah, that's and again, brain injuries are crazy, guys. And you get smacked in the head, it just everything's so different for you, and everybody's stuff is different. Like I tell you, I can't see a black light, a strobe light, any of that stuff. I get nauseous like immediately. It's bizarre. I don't know. I had black lights and strobe lights in my room growing up like crazy, and now I can't look at it for 1 second. I get nauseous. It's weird, guys. So anyway, just a little heads up. But yeah, Joseph Levy, I am not sure about that answer. So you're gonna have to look into whatever state you're in and all that good stuff and what they do. But it is an interesting question. I'm just telling you what New Jersey told me. They don't count it as income, is what they told me. So I was like, okay, whatever. I don't care one way or the other, whatever. And so yeah, that was that. And so yeah, that's what happened to me. And let's see, Laptop Travel said his daughter's also in private school. They have family password, so no one can pick her up, and she'll not go with anyone who claims to be. Well, that's the thing. Um, Little guy Gannon, he knows me super well. So as soon as I came walking up, a couple of the one little girl that Dougie went to school with before, Catherine, she was like, "There's Dougie's dad," and then the teachers look over and they're like, "Oh, Dougie's dad," and then Gannon yells out, "Mr. Doug!" So he had already said something before I actually said something to the teacher. And again, his mom had emailed the teacher, and I said to her, "Look at your email. His mom emailed you to let you know that I'm going to be taking them," and I guess they kind of believed me at that point and knew the situation was a little crazy. And so yeah, he'll be at school tomorrow and perfectly fine. But yeah, like I said, it's one of them things like, oh, and again, Dougie, if if his mom was picking him up and we couldn't get there and we had to do the same thing, Dougie would know that he could go because we would watch Gannon all the time in the summertime. He would just come over and hang out and play. As a matter of fact, his dad, I think I told you, I cut their lawn in the beginning of the summer for them. His dad suffered a brain injury. His dad's a veteran, and had a work accident. He had suffered a brain injury in the military as well, Joseph Levy. And so we would talk all the time. Super nice guy. And so we had a lot in common. He lives 3 blocks away, and he had a major, like, crazy accident at work. He was in a coma for 2 months. It happened right before Christmas. It was either like a day or two before Christmas or after. It was like literally like right at Christmas time. It was crazy, and he was in a coma for like a month and a half, 2 months. So yeah, we would take Gannon a lot, and he would stay here, and then obviously. His mom would go over to the hospital and stuff. But yeah, he's doing really well. He's done a lot of therapy, and I talk. He's done. It's funny. Not funny, but I did every piece of therapy that he's done. And so I was saying it all like, oh yeah, I used to do this, and he'd be doing it all. I'd be like, oh, the next thing you're gonna do is this, and he would be he's like, dude, yeah, it's crazy. You act. I'm like, yo, it's the crazy thing is that the shit works. That's what they literally have you walking around with popsicle sticks, guys. I used to joke about it. People would ask me, what do you do at concussion therapy? I'd be like, I walk around with popsicle sticks, and I can't. And I'm telling you guys, I'd have to like put them out in front of me like this. I couldn't walk in a straight line. It was so crazy. I would end up starting and in the corner. And I thought I was walking straight. It was the most bizarre thing ever. So yeah, you would just keep practicing that until you could actually like take 2 steps. One that's how bad it was, guys. And you don't realize that your brain can't work until like they tell you to do like the most simplest thing, like here, walk a straight line like you're doing the breathalyzer or whatever, like or not the breath, whatever that thing's called when you walk the straight line and you got to go like your toe to toe like that. And I couldn't do it. I honestly still can't do it, to be completely honest with you. I got better, but yeah, if they ever pulled me out of a car and told me to take that test, I would fail immediately. I would fail the breathalyzer because I don't drink, but I would fail that test. I'd probably fail all the tests. As a matter of fact, I can't touch my nose like that. That was something that we'd have. Yeah, them basic simple things are tough when you have a brain injury. That's why you can't do them when you're drunk. And so yeah, that's why I don't drink anymore either. I was a big drinker, but it just messes with your head even more. It's not really worth it. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, guys. And so yeah, you meet people like Joseph Levy and this guy Gannon's dad, and a lot of people you just meet that end up with like TBIs. From all different things, but most of them are a lot from the military. I was saying that the other day. It's like the number one question they ask you. It's right up there at the top. Did you serve in the military? And so yeah, like I was saying last night, we were talking about a little bit. But yeah, anyway, so that did happen today, and I had to take the kids home today with me and hang out for a little bit. And we were running through the house making a mess. And you guys, you bring another kid home, and then your kid and that kid just have a blast, and they just destroy the house in like three. It looks like a tornado runs through the house in 3 seconds. Everything gets ripped out. The house is a disaster. And I mean, like they walk in the door, they drop their book bags, and then boom, it's like the whole house just got destroyed. I was like, holy cow. So yeah, that was going on today in my house. Anyway, fun stuff. And there you go. And let's see. I don't know what you guys were. Oh, it does count as income. Yeah, that's crazy. See, and then that's why I thought it does. But then they told me it didn't, laptop travel. And I was like, all right, well, if that's what you're going to say, I'll pull that out next time you guys tell me it counts, because they absolutely told me it didn't count as income in New Jersey. I was like, okay, that's perfectly fine with me. But don't try to tell me it counts as income, because I will definitely fight it. I promise you, it's on a taped call. So I promise you, they told me that. I know that I might have a brain injury, but I wrote that shit down. I was like, all right, that's the reason why it counts. It counts as income, or it doesn't. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So anyway, yeah, it's kind of weird anyway. And yeah, that would never happen at a public school. I know, and my wife's a public school teacher, and I told her how I got Gannon, and she just looked at me like, oh, yeah, I know, it's because they're in a private school. It would never happen. You would never let your kid walk out with another parent unless you absolutely saw that email and confirmed it probably like 5 times. So yeah, way different situation, of course. And again, you go to a private school, and again, everyone seems to be like pretty normal on the same page. And everyone's not going to be all normal, but pretty normal on the same page. And like I say, the parents know most of the kids, and everybody's super friendly. So I mean, at any point, I would think that any of the parents would be like, oh, the kid needs a ride home, I'll go drop them off. Just, give me the parent's number and make sure everything's okay. I'm pretty sure anybody would do it. But again, you got to make sure it's okay with the parents, and everybody knows. And the teachers just can't let kids go. But there was and I was surprised. I only got there a few minutes later, and almost the entire school had already been gone. I was like, how the hell did everyone get picked up that fast? They just alerted us like 25 minutes ago, and I got here pretty quick. So, but yeah, there was only a few of them standing out there still, and I was just like, oh, it was crazy. Anyway, that was what happens. And capital gains are definitely taxable. That is for sure. Laptop travel. You are absolutely correct about that. And like I said, I file the taxes and all that good shit every year. But yeah, they told me that it didn't count as income. I promise you, I asked. And because again, I couldn't work. Every doctor, the doctors were the ones that were telling me that I had to apply for disability and stuff. They're like, you can't work, and I'm like, okay. And everyone goes, "What do you do for a living?" And I go, "Well, this is weird." I'm like, I've been self-employed my whole life, and I haven't really technically worked since I was 40, but I do trade stocks and make money doing that. And they just look at me like I'm crazy, of course. And I go, yeah, I haven't collected a dime in over 2 years since I got hit in the head, or however long it had been that time. I'd be like, oh, I haven't collected anything. And they would think I was crazy. And I'm like, well, that's just the way it works, guys. I don't know what to tell you. So what am I going to do? They keep telling me I'm not, I can't get, but they did tell me I could have disability, so I don't freaking know. And again, if you do that well, Joseph Levy, you just get off a disability. I know they can like reevaluate it, but you got the military like 100% probably or whatever, so that's different. And but anyway, you just have to ask somebody at the end of the day, and yeah, and unfortunately, they never gave you an IQ test prior to a baseline. Well, I've had them before. You know what's crazy, Joseph Levy? I'll tell you what. They actually, when these people did they did the IQ test, and I don't know how the hell they could tell, but they did these tests, and they told me that they were doing tests to try to compare what my IQ would have been, and they were like dead on what my IQ was. I was kind of blown away. I had said it to my wife, and she does this for a living, and she was kind of blown away by it. She was like, how the hell did they get that accurate like that? And I was telling my wife, of course, I couldn't remember everything, but I was like, yeah, I remember they just gave me a paper, and the lady so told me, we're going to compare your previous IQ to what you score here. And I don't know how the hell they figured it out, but I'm telling you, they had it pretty damn close. They were really on, like, really close to it. And I was like, damn, that was pretty wild. And like I said, they told me I lost like 30 IQ points. And I was like, well, I must have had a pretty decent IQ before if I could have afford to lose 30 and still be functionable, I guess. But anyway, here I am sitting here doing a show and alive. Like I tell you guys, I live a very blessed life, and I'm blessed to be alive. I say that every single day. And you guys know this show has gotten me as best as I'm probably going to ever be, to be completely honest with you. This is more cognitive therapy than anybody could ever do. And I do it all the time. You guys know how often we do shows, and that's how it started, guys. I literally started doing the show from going to cognitive therapy, working with a doctor. And one of the things that we did, I was just like, I could do that with stocks. And she looked at me like I was crazy. And then I told her what I did. And I was like, oh, I look at stock charts. And no one understood whatever I would tell them. But anyway, and I just was like, oh, I could do that and just like talk about stocks and do it that way. That would be an easy way for me to do it because it's something I'm interested in and I like this stuff. That's how the show started, guys. And it was literally like a brain exercise. So how crazy is that? And yeah, what was it, May 31st? So I had started it, and yeah, I had just started doing a whole different. I've done every cognitive therapy that you could go through, and the only thing I have to go for now is vision therapy. I was supposed to start when I cut my fingertip off, and I told you that's all healed up. I grew a fingertip back in less than a month, and now I have to set up the vision therapy again and go. But yeah, I had an appointment to go and get evaluated, and I had to cancel because I literally had just cut my fingertip off like the day or two before that. And I was like, oh, my finger kind of hurts. I don't know if I should be going for this. I called and asked them, and they said, you might want to wait a little bit and because you got to be really focused. And I'm like, yeah, well, they just put me on Percocets and stuff. And they're like, all right, why don't you reschedule that bad boy? So anyway, that was that. So there you go, a little story time, I guess. And sobriety test. Thank you, laptop. I could not think of the word. I was saying what the breathalyzer. That was the only thing I could think of was the breathalyzer sobriety test. Yeah, I couldn't pass one of them field sobriety tests. Thank you, guys. I honestly could not think of the name of that. I was about to Google it because it was bothering me. So thank you very much. And that's part of the brain injury right there. But yeah, I Joseph Levy says he practices for that test. That's too funny. But yeah, I just I couldn't do it. I can do a couple steps. I've gotten better. Don't get me wrong, but hey, I'm failing that test every time. I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, that's that. And let's see what else is going on. That's all our messages right there. Let's see what else is happening over here, and let's go through the market and see if anything's trending or anything looks good. And let me see if what's on StockTwits. They usually have something good, but honestly, hasn't even been that great. How the hell is it 7-3? Wasn't it just 6-3, or they just didn't put that extra point in there? I guess because now it says it's 7-3, and I had refreshed it like twice, and it said it was 6-3. 7-3 Seahawks are winning over the Cardinals. And it's the second half with 5:40 left, 2nd and 10 right there. And the Cardinals have the ball. So there you are. And you were talking Yankees. They are up 4-3, bottom of the 7th, one out there, Joseph. So there you go with that. And the Phillies are in a rain delay right now because it is kind of raining around my house. So that is why they are in a rain delay, I can imagine. But anyway, there you go. That's a little update on some sports right there. And let's see what is going on StockTwits. It's Intel and then all of the Bitcoin, Ethereum, because they're way down. And how about this, guys, right here, Sam? I hope Sam's tuning in right here. CIFR, guys. Look at that bad boy, Sam. How nice was it to hit that bad boy up there? I bet that felt nice. And then watch it just jump off a cliff right there. And I came on this morning and said, I looked at it and I said, oh, that spiked up super fast. I doubt he even caught it. So I'm glad he sold it yesterday because it's coming down. And boom, right off the cliff right there. So everybody that locked in profits did it perfectly and almost hit the tops, guys. I mean, as close as you're going to probably hit the tops, you're hitting everybody basically hit the top. Zach did it with RR, Sam did it with Cypher, and Joseph Levy just did an amazing job on his. He could have hit pretty much that top area, but he woke up a little late there. He was out partying at his pool league the night before, but he still hit it for over 120%. So I would say that is a great first option, that's for sure. And let's see what else is going on. So yeah, nothing really trending over here. That's Cypher. Costco right here. That looks like it's down. It looks like it's on like a call or something right now. I don't even know what's going on, but Costco is down right there in the after hours. And like I said, it looks like it's on a call. What do they have? Q4 earnings or something? I'm not even sure. But anyway, that looks like that. And let me see. Oh, it just changed. I just refreshed it. It just changed them all on me. Holy cow, that's crazy. Well, LAC is still trending. That should run up some more tomorrow. So watch that bad boy. And Nito right here, NITO, was down. I don't know what that's up to. And Ellie Lilly right here, not the KKK because it was KK. Lilly Ellie right here, LLY, that's way down as well. And Solana's down. XBI is down right here. That's the biotech. Let's look at our and there's Cypher over there. Let's look at UVX right here. UVXY, I mean. And look at that because it was hitting the 20 and doesn't look that great. I mean, it looks decent, but it doesn't have that look like it really wants to blast off. And then if you go into your futures and your VIX, that one is already run up, guys. And remember, we talked about these pop down and then they pop up. It almost has that whole run up already happening and it comes back down again. So you can see they've done it a million times like this. And then they drop back down and run back up. And when that VIX is dropping down, that means the market's running back up right there. So that's what it looks like. And it could be a few days right there. And again, leading up into the end of the month where we have the government shutdown looming. So that could be it. And then it gets really rocking and rolling. So I honestly didn't even know the government shutdown was happening until today. To be completely honest with you, I asked Luis Rodriguez what day it was going to happen. So what day is that supposed to happen? I just heard about it today. And so, yeah, that just shows you. Remember PEPG, we did look at this last night, and that did shoot up over 100%. It was on, I had written it down on the bottom of the list. And let's see, anything else? Costco is not even after not even beating the earnings right there. So that's not good. If Costco is not beating earnings, that's probably not a good look. And let's see, what did it say? When did they have them? Today? Yeah, I guess they're on them right now because that says like, oh, maybe not. I have no idea, guys. But let's see. They reported revenue of 86.156 and they estimated, so they beat their estimate a little bit. Their EPS was pretty dead on, and their EPS reported was a little higher than their estimate. So I guess it didn't look too bad, but it did dip down. I'm not sure what's going on there. And SOX right here is the semiconductor. Which one? SOXL or SOX? Which one? Which one is the this one? Soxy. This is the semi. Yeah, aren't these like all semiconductor ones? I know SOXL. I know that one, and that's the semiconductor bull. But that one looks like it's coming back down. And Soxus is the bear one right here, and that one probably looks like it's about to go up. Yeah, it does. Holy cow! Yeah, Luis Rodriguez. That's a good one right there. They beat earnings, but they're still down. Yeah, and that's why I just don't understand earnings ever, guys. I mean, you guys know I refuse to play earnings calls because I just don't. They beat earnings and then it dips real big. They miss earnings and these things pop. Tesla missed earnings several times and the thing ran up like crazy. I don't understand how it works. I just don't get it. So I just trade around it. You guys know that, and we do perfectly fine as we do that. So that's how we approach the market. That's for sure. And yeah, not a whole lot going on, but that Soxus is looking good. So you can tell your semiconductors could be coming down there. And it looks like a lot of stuff has been pulling back here. UPXI, big dip right there. And that had been setting up. So we'll definitely have to see what our crypto is getting into right here because it is pretty green, right? Or pretty green, pretty red right there, I must say. And what is it like? How many days? Like 90 or 91 days, I would say, till Christmas, because today's the 25th in September. So you have October, November, December. And I guess there's 1 month with 31. So it would add one. So what is it? 91 days, I would say, somewhere around there. How crazy is that, guys? 3 months exactly till Christmas. How wild. And we'll be sitting in Halloween in a month from now. We'll be getting ready to go trick or treating. Everybody will be going to costume parties and all that fun stuff. And then obviously Thanksgiving will cruise up and everybody will be getting ready for the holidays and Christmas before we know it. So we'll focus on crushing the market and continuing to hit that sell button while they're up there because everybody that's been doing it has been locking them in. I've been doing it nonstop. My only bad one right now is that Tesla one from yesterday, but I still think we'll be fine. And again, my options for like a month out. So I'm not that concerned because Tesla can bounce right back up. So there you go, everybody. I would say that's a pretty fun market review considering there's not a whole lot going on. Told you a couple good stories there, and I guess we can hop off. Enjoy the Thursday night football game, and of course, Joseph's going to enjoy his Yankees, and we'll see what's happening with the games real quick. If it pops up here, 7-3 still, and it is second quarter, 9:24. Cardinals have the ball. Seahawks are winning 7-3. And then your Phillies are still in your rain delay, and your Yankees are still up there and 4-3, and it's still top of the seventh with one out. So there you go. That's what it says on here. And there's a couple other games that are going on, like the Tigers and Guardians and the Red Sox and Blue Jays. So a couple other people and the Mets and Cubs. So there you go for a little sports action there and everything else. We talk about it all, life and the stock market and you name it, and we'll talk about it. And that's for sure. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. That's for sure too. And if you have any questions, be sure to hit me up on X. You know I answer everybody. I've given you a few examples where I've been talking to people and everybody's doing well. It seems like we're all starting to catch on. And anybody that hasn't, it's going to be your turn next because I know Robin and Joseph Levy and Sam and so many other people there are feeling it. And, you know, right now is a little pull back. So we'll just let it pull back, guys. Again, you don't have to force any trades. You'll realize that it was the smartest decision to keep that cash in your account when these pull back and you get into one of them options, Joseph Levy, and they start running from the bottom up. That's when you make your money. And that's why I stick with my setups, guys, and I just stay patient. I don't overtrade. I try to trade the quality ones, and obviously you're never going to be 100% right, but if you can generally beat the market for most times, you're going to do pretty well. And we obviously do that pretty damn well. So just let them pull back. We'll take a look at them at 7 a.m. We'll see what's going on, what's going to be popping up, how crypto looks as well as we go towards our government shutdown. And we'll even look at our poly market ones because they're way up there. And we'll see if they start curling as we're coming down to the wire there. Because tomorrow's the 26th, so you'd have 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30th was Tuesday. So you have about 5 days for them to figure that shit out. And they always figure it out Tuesday night, the night before at 11:57, as I always say. So we'll expect that, especially with Trump in there. Last time he told them they weren't going to go home, and they just figured it out real quick. It was pretty funny. And he's going to do it again. So he doesn't want the government to shut down. That's not a good look, and it doesn't help the economy, nor will it help the stock charts. And he needs these things pumping up there and continuing to run up. He doesn't want any lull when you're running them up in the all-time highs and you're getting into these areas where you're like .com in it, and these things can just keep running for the next year and a half, 2 years like this, and you can just walk with the midterms in every election. So again, you're going to start seeing elections coming up here in November, and you better believe he wants that market running for everything. All the elections, he wants it running. So that is what it looks like to me, guys. And that's how the market is tonight on a Thursday night towards the end of September. And what's it say? Wall Street indexes finished lower. Data raises uncertainty for rate cut outlook. I mean, I don't understand how. And U.S. economy grows at fastest pace in nearly 2 years on consumer spending. How amazing is that? And Trump to impose tariffs on pharma, kitchen cabinets, and upholstery. You were saying that, Luis Rodriguez. And Amazon stock is trading at the historic discount, and we already looked at that. So there you go. And what is going on tomorrow? There is the GDP or something happening. I forget. That tomorrow's Friday. We're over here. Fed Hammock is speaking tomorrow. And then you have your PCE. That's what's going on tomorrow. So you have your PCE, your personal income right there, and your core PCE. So that is what we're going to look at tomorrow. And that's our economic calendar. So there you go, everybody. And I would say it's a fun night. And you guys go enjoy the rest of the football game. Enjoy an early night off because there's not a whole lot happening here. And we'll all get some rest. And we'll be back at 7 a.m. to see what the market's going to finish out the week like. And if we can pick out any quick poppers right there to end the week, that's for sure. That would be nice. And we'll obviously look and see what the SPY Mag 7, Tesla, and all them guys are doing tomorrow morning. And that EPIX was down some more today. I kind of took it off the list because it wasn't really getting set up, and watch it really get set up now. I'll look at it tomorrow and see. Maybe we'll add it back on there and it gets ready to run. So that is what the market looks like, guys. And I will catch you guys in the morning. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Be sure to follow along on X, YouTube, and Instagram, and like the show as you hop off here. Hit the like button and repost it if you want. Other people can check it out. I greatly appreciate it. And again, enjoy your evening, guys. We'll be on at 7 a.m. We'll see how the market's going to end the week, and we'll go from there. So thanks for tuning in. Joseph Levy, Laptop Travel, Luis Rodriguez. So many people hopping on. I love that newer people are commenting all the time. Zach's always hopping on and commenting, but I know there was a new person at the top, and I'm trying to remember. Papa, that's what it was. Papa Joshio right there. Joshio. So yeah, thanks everybody. And of course, Doge Mama 9's always hanging out, and everybody else that is always hanging out, Robin and Zach and the whole crew there that always tunes in. I appreciate it big time. Again, I was telling you about my brain injury and how much this show helps me. So yeah, it makes me excited to do the show every day. And it definitely helps me, I think, just stay focused in life. I could tell the difference on the weekends, guys. My brain just doesn't work the exact same. That's why I try to do projects and stuff to keep my brain kind of working, because if it's the minute I take off, it's like it just doesn't work right. It's really weird with a brain injury. I'm not going to lie. So I'm hoping that the vision therapy helps me out a little bit better. And again, you guys can tell, and my wife can definitely see it now. And that's what she does for a living. I just can't like read and comprehend things, and I can't see things right. And it's just like, it just doesn't line up right. I never had that issue before, and it's definitely not my eyesight. It's just the way my brain and my eyes work with each other. They just aren't in sync anymore. And I can definitely tell the difference and tell what's going on. So yeah, it's hard for me. It's crazy. And they say it could get fixed with vision therapy, but it could take like over a year. So I'm like, well, that's all right. I've done enough of them. I've been doing therapies for like 2 years now, so it's another year of it. So yeah, I gotta call and make that. And like I said, maybe that'll help out. All the other therapies have completely helped, and obviously this show is like the best help of them all. So again, that's why I always appreciate everybody tuning in. And of course, I hope the show helps you guys out with the market and your confidence and everything else. And of course, hit the sell button when they're up. Now we have so many great examples of people locking in profits, and we keep doing that. Everybody's account will grow. I promise you. It doesn't happen overnight. We'll focus on the singles and doubles right now. We'll let the triples and home runs, they'll come to us, believe me. They'll throw them perfect pitches right down the middle of the plate, and we'll smash them out of the park every single time. So that is what we're looking at, and that's how you do it, guys. You just get confident in doing what you're looking at, like looking at the market and you're trading it. You got to be confident with hitting that sell button is what it comes down to. And once you figure that's the biggest thing to overcome, then it's pretty easy after that. Then you're like, you know what? This is the one thing I have to do every single time. We know we're buying them in low prices. We always do. We always buy them and they go up. That's not the problem. The problem is, when do you get out? And now everybody's saying you get out when it's up. And yeah, I'm getting a little better with seeing the tops of these things. So of course I'll help anybody out at any time. You guys can see that we knocked a couple out of the park, and we'll continue to do it with everybody. So I don't mind at all, and that's why we'll do the live trading in the Discord as well. We'll pick that back up next week. I know Ben was out for a little bit for Rosh Hashanah this week, and I obviously have recess duty tomorrow. I was actually going to do it tomorrow, and I went, holy cow, I have recess duty. It's on the calendar in front of me. So I do have to do that. And so, yeah, we'll get back into the live trading and everything next week, and I'll hop on the live shows in the morning with Laptop Travel and Ben and go through stuff. We can trade in the morning and trade in the afternoon, get everybody on the right page here so everybody knows what's going on. And again, we'll pick the quality setups, guys. That's what I can do well, and we'll run with them. And again, we just have to get out of them. You got to hit the sell button when they're up. I have to tell myself the exact same thing. I've been just beating it into my brain as well. And as I've been doing it in the last few weeks, it's been pretty nice. You know, I took pretty much the whole summer off. I traded a few here and there, and they were just like easy, quick ones. And but yeah, now trying to do like a couple at a time and really just get it like crazy, not crazy in a bad way, but just crazy where we're hitting good poppers and hitting the right setups. So I think it's going to work out well for everybody. And like I was saying, it never happens overnight. So you put the time in, and I know a couple of you have been putting your time in, and now it's starting to click and get all, the pieces are starting to fit together. And the rest of you that have been just there, right there, you're probably right there about to break that, like, that line and get on the other side where you start getting it down to a science and figuring it out. And it just takes really, like how Joseph Levy did it. You have one of them really good plays, and it just kind of boosts your confidence enough. Again, you never get cocky with it. You just say, hey, I understand this now, and I know there's total risk in it, but now I get it, and I can see what you have to do to make it work. And then you build from that. And again, you build it small so that you constantly build up your confidence in this. And that's what I think a lot of it is. And even if you have a losing one, you're confident to sell that for a quick loss and get out of it. That's another big part of it as well, guys. I had done some trading like exercises before, and they were always like real quick. You want to do like 20 trades, like a certain amount of trades real quick, and they're all small. You just want to make sure. Again, that's how you build up your confidence. If you can do like 20 small, quick winning trades, they're not huge hits, but it just gets you into the routine and that rhythm of, hey, I'm buying it down here. I have my plan. When it hits this price, I have to hit the sell button and get out. It just kind of trains your brain to do it. So I've done it a couple times, and it definitely works. But again, we're kind of doing it together, and you can see you got to just hit that sell button. So I'm going to just beat it into everybody's brain, but I know we all need it, and even myself, because it is one of the hardest things to get through your head. But once you do and you understand that that's the only way to make your account truly grow big, is to hit that sell button when these things are up, because they are coming back down. And that's when you get excited about hitting the sell button and saying, you know what, it's not so hard anymore, because I understand it's the only way I've seen my account ever grow is if I always hit the sell button. If you don't, you just watch it bounce around, and like I said, you'll end up with all these different stocks in your account, and then you'll be selling them at losses when every one of them had been up. And yeah, everybody does the exact same things, guys. So it's just a mental breakdown that we have, because we're not wired right, like I say, to hit that sell button when you're supposed to. You always think it's going to go higher until it doesn't go higher, and all of a sudden it's lower than the price that you bought it at. So that's the moral of the story, like I keep saying, is hit the sell button. You guys are doing great with it. Like I said, everybody's starting to lock in profits, and I'm proud of everybody. I love seeing it, and we're just going to keep having more successful stories like Joseph Levy's and Sam and everybody else, Zach doing well, and everybody. So it's just going to be everybody doing it, and then we're just going to have a good time with it. And that's how, yeah, everybody has fun together and makes money, and we all have a nice community. Obviously, the Discord's a great community already, and we're all in there and having a good time trading together. So thank you, guys. And again, you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on X. Don't think that you're bothering me. I answer everybody, and I enjoy talking to you guys, as you can tell, because I message back and forth with plenty of people each day, and it's fun. I'm telling you, we have great people that tune in all the time, and I love it. So there you go, everybody. And if anybody's interested in the TrendSpider, my affiliate link, you know what we've learned, if I copy and paste it into my notes and then do it again, for some reason it would just take you right to the TrendSpider, so it wouldn't have my affiliate at the end. I don't know who signed up with it or not a big deal. But if you do use the TrendSpider, sign up with the affiliate link, let me know, because I can definitely get you some of my charts if you want any of the charts, I can get them sent over to you through there. I just have to ask Nader exactly how to do it again, but it's all pretty easy, and you guys can take advantage of that. And like you guys know, I have tons and tons of scanners all right here, as you can see. Look at them all set up right there. There's a bunch of them all over. Even the crypto one probably isn't going to show a whole lot right now. This is going to be our crypto one. It's probably going to take a while to even scan anything, and watch, nothing's going to come up. Ready? I don't think anything's going to come up. Nothing. Usually it has like something. It's not going to show us anything right now. That's when you know the market's dipping, guys. So yeah, it's taking too long. It's definitely not pulling anything up. And I'll just show you real quick if there's anything early on. There really wasn't anything looking good. I mean, that's our SPY ones. This one could have a little momentum. STT, State Street Corporation. TXN, Texas Instruments, that's moving because everyone's buying their calculators right now. Does anyone even buy them calculators with cell phones today? I have no idea. I guess the kids still need these calculators at school. And GM right there, good old General Motors. And again, I think Trump was putting a tax on like big trucks or something. NTRS, Northern Trust Corporation, not too bad. PSX, Phillips 66's gas station, and that one's running up. eBay right there actually looks pretty good. eBay, we have to look at that. EG, not too bad. And VRTX, that one's trying to move it. Have to get over that 20 right there. CB could pull back. That one's not too bad. BKNG. Charles Schwab right there is looking pretty healthy. How about Target's been way down? And CVX, Chevron, not too bad. So there's a couple good ones right there on the scanner. So yeah, if you do sign up on TrendSpider, let me know, and I can make sure you can get any of these. I can send them over to you. And I haven't broken down to like nano cap, small cap. You figure whatever you want, you can get basically any kind of scan off of them. They're pretty set up, and I always make new ones and mess around with it. So there you go. And I posted out the link, the affiliate link and everything. And again, TrendSpider has a good special there. It's all kinds of good stuff. I posted it out. So any questions about that, let me know. Or you can obviously hit up Nader. He's great. And maybe we'll have to do another show pretty soon. Again, I was talking to him because we were trying to get my affiliate. I was like, I don't think this thing's working. And then We realized why. I'm like, it works on my computer, but definitely not on my phone. And yes, for some odd reason, if I paste it into the notes and then like write the post and then copy and paste it, it just eliminates my affiliate link. And that's how I generally do it. So I won't do it that way anymore. And now we know. So I guess that works out. But anyway, if you do sign up in TrendSpider or are interested in it, have any questions about it or anything else, hit me up. You know, I'll respond. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, Zach. And he said, thank you, Doug, for all you do for all of us here. We love it and appreciate your commitment to your community. Now, guys, you guys are awesome. I love everybody that hangs out, and we do have a great community. That's for sure. Everybody is super, super cool. And we're all on the same page, I have to say, in life. That's what it seems like. And hey, we're just trying to make our lives a little bit better and better our families and our living conditions, of course, because they're always crazy with the cost of everything today. You can never not have enough money right now or have too much money, I'll say. You always need more right now because it just costs a fortune to do everything. Especially you just go to the grocery store, it costs you an arm and a leg, and then pay your electric bill. That's like a mortgage. That's like a mortgage payment now. So it's pretty wild, guys. So yeah, it's we're all in it for the same reason. We'll make money together. We'll have a lot of fun together too. And I'm telling you, the holidays are going to be great. You already know the market's going to be getting crazy, guys. Again, you have some elections around November happening. Market's going to be popping up at that time. There's no way. This is going to be your little pullback right here. And I think you might be seeing it because of that government shutdown looming. And Powell spoke yesterday. You got a couple things thrown in there that could make it pull back. And I think we can bounce relatively quick right back up. So there you are, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you guys at 7 a.m. So have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you guys in the morning.